We are in a trial within a trial, and the reason we have taken this exercise, I'm saying we because we are involved, right? But it's the court, right? It's the criminal court. Now, we are in what we call it a trial within a trial. What we are seeking to find, or the outcome that we desire from this exercise, it is to see whether or not the accused, Bongani Ntanzi and Mngomezulu Ukhulelwa Sibiya, have indeed confessed. Was the confession under duress or it was free and voluntarily? Everything that is currently happening, it centers around that. We are trying to prove whether the confession existed or it does not exist. If the confession were to be found that it does not exist, the case for the state, I think that will be the last blow. Now we will also remember we have a lead investigator in this case. He goes by the name of Brigadier Kninda. Brigadier Kninda is coming to testify in this thing called with trial within a trial. He will probably come again, but now we are interested in this thing called trial within a trial. Whatever evidence that is going to be given by Brigadier Kninda will be towards proving the validity of the confession of accused number 1 and 2. Once we are done and dusted with this, then we'll go back to the main trial. But should we go back to the main trial, having proven or the judgment having handed, that will be the last blow. I tell you for free, that will be the last blow for the state. Are you willing and interested to take this journey with me? If you are, then please stick around. Maybe the question that you have to ask is, what journey? What are we doing in this journey? Well, in this specific journey, we are looking at what Mngomezulu was doing with Usage and Mokhwane. So we are trying to see and reference what I've just told you, discovering whether or not the confession was under duress or not. So are you interested to take this journey with me? If you are, then please stick around. As you stick around, there are just few things that I'm looking for from you, or I'm asking from you. Number 1, you subscribe. Number 2, you like the video. Number 3, you comment. Number 4, you share this video. Number 5, you watch this video until the end. Number 6, you need to watch the ads. You can join, become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand. It's just that. You can use the thanks button. There's a woman who constantly makes use of that button. Her name is Anna Mohab. Not that others have not done it, but that woman, she's a friend of that button called thanks. Yeah, she just, while you are sitting there, she will randomly throw 100 Rand. You know what I'm saying? Thank you very much. And others, I've seen the likes of Isaiah and many more. Yes. I think what I'm going to need to do now, I need to say the names of people who are members of this YouTube channel, members that are also doing that. I need to congratulate them whilst everybody's here. Right? Okay, let's go on a little bit again. Now, Mngomezulu, in your involvement was because you were involved in the murder case of Nongoma. Sergeant Mokhwane says yes. Mngomezulu and Sergeant Mokhwane was involved. Sergeant Mokhola was involved because she was involved in the Tembisa case. Sergeant Mokhwane says yes. Now, the Nongoma case, then please bear in mind the Tembisa case and Nongoma case, respectively, will be highlighted somewhere in the future as we progress with this video. So pay attention to the Nongoma case because it is more highlighted than the other. Now, I was told that I need to have water in my channel. Now I have this water. Thank you very much. Mngomezulu, Oti, he was called, talking about Ntanzi, he was called by a number that starts with 012 a week before he was arrested. The person who called offered employment to Ntanzi. Do you know anything about that? Utu Mokhwane, no. So, in other words, look, when Sergeant Mokhwane was explaining this, I hope you don't mind this noise. My Invector, the backup system, so I don't know, like I think I need to buy this big battery. There's one that I need to buy. It does not use acid. So yes, this one, it is giving me some problems because my Invector is big, guys. It's big. I can do grinding. I can do a lot of things with that Invector. I can work while you watch your TV, while you're doing grinding, while you are welding. So yeah, man, it looks like my battery is not compatible with the Invector. Somewhere there's something wrong with the two. So yeah, please don't mind the sound. Right. Sergeant Mngomezulu and Sergeant Mapena was not involved in any case. Mokhwane says he was there from the beginning, Mngomezulu, but he didn't have a specific case that got him involved in this. Mokhwane, he helped us with intelligence. He helped us to get accused number 2. So, in other words, Mapena, the late Mapena, was involved in the intelligence department. So yeah, he's the man that was able to pinpoint and say, okay, this is how we're going to get this guy. I'm going to track his movement. I'm going to track his, you know what I'm saying, his whereabout. Well, in my interview with Attorney Tobane, he did highlight that there are people who have our profile, right? And I can confirm to you that, hey guys, there are a lot of things that are happening to me, to be specific, behind the scenes that I don't talk about. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Anything that comes out from now, I'm not surprised. There are a lot of things, guys. We are ducking and diving and all the stuff. Even today I was talking to an investigator, getting some counsel about a lot of things, or getting some advice about a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes, guys. Ever since I started with this Mayiwa case, yeah, man, yeah, you can feel that, but let's hope by God's grace we will be okay. Yeah, let's continue. Mngomezulu, Ntanzi responded by saying no, he has a job. The person then who introduced herself as Sergeant Mokhwana told him that he was wanted for the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Mokhwana says, I disagree. She would not have told me that she called Ntanzi. Okay, Mokhwana, I do not agree, because Sergeant Mokhwana would have told me that she called Ntanzi. I don't know what's happening with my cameraman, guys. When you see this, I just don't understand what's going on. Oh, it's a sign that it is getting used up. I don't know. But Mngomezulu, he further mentioned a lady by the name of Sergeant Mokhwana, who told that they were looking for him and asked for his address and told him he was being sought in relation to the Meyiwa case. And then accused number 2 responded that he was working. We've already covered that. What important after those allegations is that they gave Mokhwana an address, and that was the first time he denied involvement in the Meyiwa case. Mokhwana, I disagree with you, but again, Sergeant, this person will come and testify, so let's leave it there. That is what Mokhwana says. When the docket arrives, you study it to understand its content, and because it was busy, you left it. Mokhwana was talking about when we was asked about what was in the docket. He was like, no, when the docket arrives, we read the docket, we see the content, and then we execute what is in the docket itself. Mngomezulu, turns to the Ngoma case. You said you were the investigating officer. You were in the position of the docket when you approached him. Mokhwana says, no. Mngomezulu, so you were about to dictate, you had the right details to that are contained in the docket and all the stuff. Yes, I don't know what's going on with my camera, Mafet. I just don't understand what's going on with my camera. Okay, let's continue. Hopefully we won't have this problem. And if we have this problem, I don't know. But I mean, I don't have enough money to buy another camera. If this thing continue to do this, I can't. Among the members, among the members, if that was an investigating team, how many were you? Mokhane says it was Brigadier Kininda, myself, Mohola, and the late Mabena Mngomezulu. Let's go to the poking. Let's go to this issue of the poking. Right, Mngomezulu, when you approached poking, was there any warrant of arrest? Mokhane says, nah. No, so what actually prompted you to go to the police station? Here we were talking about, that's why he clarified that you can't get arrested without what we call it, warrant of arrest. There are such exceptions in the constitution. And I was like, okay, I didn't know. But yeah, we are learning in this whole process as well. So, but yeah, accused number 2 responded by saying he was working and not where. Okay, we already covered that one. Right. Okay. Okay, I don't know who's got a tendency of calling me. Okay, Mngomezulu, will I be wrong to say you were involved because you were investigating the case of you were the investigating officer in the Nongoma matter? Mokhane says, yes, that's correct. Guys, I don't know what's going on with my equipment. It keep, this blinking and blinking and blinking and blinking. I'm gonna need to consult now, but I don't understand why the camera keeps blinking. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but yeah, I just have to establish other than the informer, there is something I want to put to you as a version of accused number 2 on how you got to him. Mngomezulu, Mokhane respond by saying, look, let's leave that one. Mngomezulu, accused number 2 will come and tell this court that he was approached. Accused number 2 will come and tell this court that when you approached him, you said you are Siyanda Buteles, and then says you are lying, says Mokhane. Now, this Siyanda Buteles Nongoma case, you need to pay attention to the two because there is a relationship between this Siyanda Buteles and Nongoma case, if I'm not mistaken. But let's continue. Mngomezulu then moves to look who was actually the main investigating officer in this case. In the case, Mokhane says it was Brigadier Kininda who was working with investigating officer from Nongoma. So let me emphasize this. There's a saying that says ingalo yomthetho inde. That means that number one, you can translate it by saying it means that police, like you can commit a crime today, police can arrest you 20 years later. And number two, when police are looking for you, there's nowhere where police cannot search. Like if, for instance, if they've got a warrant of arrest, they can search for you in the bar, wherever, in the deep ocean. If you are hiding there, that's why it's called ingalo yomthetho inde. That means it stretched to a point where, or it reached a level where you wouldn't even have thought that, look, they will get there, but they will get there because they are police. So that's what we are seeing here. We are seeing Brigadier Kininda, who probably is based in Gauteng, working with a police officer or people back in Nongoma to get a point. That's why we said ingalo yomthetho yinde. If you get that, let's continue. The surname of the accused is Butelezi, and the initials are QB. The charge is possession of unlicensed firearm. Can you also confirm that the case was solved with guilt verdict and the person was sentenced to 15 years? Mokhane says yes. Now remember, accused number 2 says when he was approached, he was told that your name is Siyanda Buteles, whereas Siyanda Buteles was arrested. Do you get the picture? You get where we're going with this thing. But nevertheless, if you see that, it means that you can't tell me you are looking for accused number 2 when there's already a person arrested for that. You get a point. and the verdict has already been given. That person is serving 15 years. Do you see where I'm going with this? Mngomezulu now refers to the police record of the Nongoma case. Who was investigating this case? And look, Mokwana says it is written Nongoma Detective Unit Sergeant L. Mngomezulu. Oh, Mngomezulu to Mngomezulu. Maybe that's why he was able to get the records that he was looking for. But let's continue anyway. That's not where we are. Mngomezulu to Mngomezulu. Can you confirm that accused number 2 is not reflected in the document? Baloyi interjects and says the extract only show one accused. We don't know whether the matter went on a trial or there was a plea bargain. That's what Baloyi says. Mngomezulu, the surname of the accused is Butelezi, in the initial is QP and all the stuff. So Baloyi was basically saying that if they are saying it's accused 1, it means that there were more than one people from this case. Also, he was suggesting that it could be that this guy was involved in the very same case. But then we later learned that no, actually, there was another person involved, except accused number 2, Yes, Mngomezulu, so you will agree with me that case 163 of Nongoma does not reflect the name of accused number 2, Bongane Ntanzi. The state interjects and say whatever they want to say, and then okay. Mngomezulu says, I'm not going to waste my time. We will prove that one as time goes by. Right. The reason why I'm concerned is because the matter was finalized, but you say it wasn't finalized. The state again interjected. You know what Baloyi said, my lord. All right, let's continue. Sergeant Mokwana had not docket when he arrested accused number 2. Even in court, he didn't bring a docket. He knows. He now asks Mokwana for it. And can you also finish a docket relating to Ntanzi, the drug case, my lord? All we have is an extract, and we cannot see how many accused were there on blah blah blah. So we were promised a docket that this guy says is gonna get the docket. It's gonna be interesting, huh? So then accused number let's leave this one. The judge also interjected and say whatever he wanted to say. You said in your evidence that the matter was not finalized, and we've already covered that one. The state interjected that one. Then Mngomezulu says, it says, did you further inform him that if 48 hours falls within a weekend, he must be brought to court on the he must be brought to court on the next court day. No, I didn't explain it. I read it to him, which I was like, what's the difference between reading and explaining to this one? Okay, this is different. The difference is that we can all see, sometimes, okay, like me, I can hear when a person is speaking in Sepedi, Setswana, Sutu, I can hear, almost most of the words, I can understand them. But if you were to say, let me read those words, then it becomes a little bit, I can read certain words, you know what I'm saying, but just few. But when it comes to reading them, I will have difficulties in terms of reading the words. You can understand the word, this thing of reading and hearing, you know what I'm saying, reading and explaining something. So it's when you explain something, you are giving an understanding to the person, but when you are reading something, I can hear you and not understand you. Do you get a point? So there's difference. So here, he was supposed to, or they should have explained, not just read, but they should have explained to say this means this. This means this. This means this. This means this, so that you can understand the implications that comes with each and every act that is being read to you. Do you get it what I'm saying? If you don't get it, forget about it. Mngomezulu, before you detain accused number 2, did you inform him of his right to be charged within 48 hours? He says yes. When you arrested him, did you inform him about the right to appear before court within 48 hours? He says yes. Okay. So there was this disagreement to say when he was arrested, was it Friday, was it Monday, was it Tuesday, was it what, which I'm not going to get into that one. It is important for us to know because it explains the 48-hour concept to say when this 48-hour concept Look, it explains the validity of the 48-hour concept. So what you can do, you can go to, in your calendar, go to a calendar that is of 2020, then check when the 16th of June was, on which day, you know what I'm saying? Because it was concluded that it was Tuesday. So because it was Tuesday, then you need to you need to omit that day because the court is not functioning on that day. The next court day will then be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. To get a point? So the 48 hours is affected by the holiday therein. If you get what I'm saying, then you understand that, okay, count the 48 hours, but exclude the public holiday because it was not a court day. Yes, it was not a court day. So obviously Ntanzi was arrested on the 16th of June, which is said that it was Tuesday. Mokale says it is true. So when does the 48 hours lapse? Mngomezulu, I'm not sure if you're putting well since Tuesday, it ends on Friday. Okay, so now that's why I said to you, you need to calculate the 16th of June 2020 and understand that if it was on Tuesday, then calculate 48 hours yourself. And then I know I'm going to get that intellectual conversation in my comment section below. Yeah. In the appearance of the 22nd of June 2022, accused was supposed to be taken to Nongoma, not Pokeng. Like I explained, there were many cases that there were many cases we were dealing with. This was not the only one. Again, the problem here, we could have found, if it wasn't the fact that maybe I don't know how to put this one, but if he was found guilty of any other crimes, Ntanzi, today we would have been sitting here talking a different ball game altogether. But the funny part is that some of those cases he was acquitted, So I don't know. I don't get it. What is happening here? Look, many cases that they were working on. If he was found guilty, like accused number 5, who's serving 6 life sentences, we all say that he is indeed a hitman. But we always say that. Just because he's a hitman serving 6 life sentences doesn't necessarily mean that accused number 5 he's therefore guilty of the Meiwa just because he is proven to have been involved in taking people's lives. Do see the difference there? Another thing that is a matter of importance as well is this one that I think it is important for us to note before I say what is important for us to note. Let me say it anyway. You'll find that when we hear the word accused number 5 is serving 6 life sentences, you will think that this one will never leave prison. But once you understand the sentencing, then you understand, chances are these sentences are running concurrently. So this person, you'll find that he will be eligible for parole after 15 years or 10 years. So it's a term that makes this thing looks like it's a big thing, but when you look at actual sentencing and you understand, I'm telling you, you will find that this guy will be eligible for parole 10 years from now. So don't be confused or don't be confident over the term 6 life sentences. It might just mean 25 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, so they decided yes to take accused number 2 to Foslorus court for the issue. So it is even worse. Foslorus did not place any matter on roll. I do not dispute that is not the first time we have a case of this type. So you see. This is where somebody explained this way. In fact, that is Toban. He said, Attorney Toban, he said, the state must prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. The defense, all they need is to poke doubts in the case, and that's it. In this case, you have to ask yourself a question. There was nothing on the roll, Yasefos Luras, right? Why was it we needed to find some record. You know what I'm saying? Because we work with records. The records are actually, a reflection of facts. How do you then believe that this happened when there is no record? Do you get a point? You see now the issue of doubts where it comes in. You can't say, it must be proven. If it can't be proven that he was there, then he wasn't there. He wasn't taken there. Do you see the point? That's doubt enough to say, hey guys, a loophole in the Constitution. It's very nice when you're looking at it. But let's continue. Otim say, I am very concerned about the 48 hours. He was arrested on the 16th of June. He was brought to as per case 163. Eventually the 48-hour period lapsed. Lokumo was disputing that. He was like, no, the 48-hour concept did not lapse. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said to you, it's about the validity of the confession. If you understand that, anything that I'm going to say to you, understand it from that perspective, then you will easily understand what is happening. You know what I'm saying? He denied that he appeared in court. The main concern of the defense is that when the matter was postponed on the 22nd of June 2022, the magistrate signed a J7. No, I disagree. Right? So our interest again must be triggered by this J7. Right? We need a proper explanation as to what is the importance of the J7. You know what I'm saying? Just pay attention to every detail here because it becomes important, especially in formulating a judgment by the judge. This J7, what does it mean? We'll get into that one. Don't worry. I'll bring a lawyer. He will explain that as well. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry, man. We will have more interviews these days. Guys, I need a sponsor. I need to buy a camera. You are watching my videos. You could have sponsored this channel. Guys, come on. I need a sponsor. And man, like, you know what I'm saying? Look at now. I'm busy drinking other brands. Guys, I need a sponsor. I need a sponsor. Hey, guys, talk to your bosses in the boardrooms. You know what I'm saying? Tell them I need a sponsor. Guys, this is going to be very interesting. I'm telling you, this is going to be very, very interesting, right? So Mngomezulu then asked this question. The Ngoma case is still ongoing. Mokhala says, from our side, it's still not yet finished, right? I will not go into details, but it's still ongoing. Mngomezulu, I think the court gave us an indulgence to stand down that matter, right? Mngomezulu, accused number 2 was never brought to court for a murder case, of the Gwanongoma. Do you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree? But I don't agree. But I'm saying is that I had charged with OB, which allows me to take him to court on the following day. So you are saying that you can be charged with just the OB alone, which then allows him to take you to the court on the next following day. We were like, no, it's fine. We'll take that. Mngomezulu, the bottom line is that accused number 2 was never brought to court for a murder, says there were other cases. So he insisted that no, there were actually other cases that were pending against him. So yes, accused number 3 was accused number 2 never went to Nango ever go to Nang was ever brought to Nongoma just to appear for anything. They're like, no, he did it. Okay, so but it's fine because Brigadier Kininda will come and explain further. Mngomezulu, but according to the extract I gave you, the full names of the person that appears there is Qinisela what is this in the Begugu Tintwa Butelezi? It's my first time Kizuka Meliso, but it's okay. Qinisela, it's familiar word, the same name Butelezi. Yeah, but we are not there. So yeah, that's the person that is actually appearing on the Nongoma case. Was like, okay, I get that. Mngomezulu, how many were you in the in the boardroom when you interviewed accused number 2? Makwana, it was me, Sergeant Mokola, and the late Sergeant Mabena. So yes, so he refused to look to get into details about the Nongoma case that says it's ongoing. He wouldn't divulge any information because it will jeopardize the investigation. We said, okay, no problem, we'll take that. It is within your right as a police officer of this country. Mngomezulu, my instruction was that there were a lot of police officers in there. Right. No. Actually, it wasn't the case, said Umohwan. Right. Mngomezulu, was the interview regarding case number 163? No, it was not the only one. All over cases he was accused of. So that means the interview, they had to ask him about everything that Ntanzi was accused of. You know what I'm saying? Hey, tense. So the picture that we are getting here, we are getting a picture that Ntanzi, he is a man who is actually dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? He's dangerous according to what we are seeing here. You know what I'm saying? That's the picture that they are painting to us. So let's leave this one. Go to Gininda was there and others. But do you notice that the word Gininda is all over the place? So when Gininda takes the stand, I can bet it's gonna be lit. The defense will have a lot of questions because I've heard a lot of people, if only they know when Gininda will appear before court. I can tell you this, judging from what I've been listening to people talking about Gininda, a lot of people have interest in Gininda. They want to know when Gininda is appearing. And when Gininda does appear before court, a lot of people want to be there. They just want to see Gininda. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an interest on Gininda. But look, if you have noticed, every single police that have testified, most of them mention Gininda. So Gininda, he's more or less like a protagonist in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? A protagonist, guys, is a leader. You know what I'm saying? In the movie, we call them steering in the Kasi language, but actually in English and in the writing sense, it's called protagonist. Right? If you didn't know. The boss, which is the one who opposes the steering, in the Kasi language, you call them bosses, but actually in the writing language, they are called protagonist. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where you place Gininda. You place him as a no. The boss is not called protagonist. It's called antagonist, right? That means it's the person that is opposing. The protagonist is the steering. The antagonist is the boss in the movie. Right? When you're looking at Fast and Furious, where there is this guy named Uda Rock who plays the role of a cop, and then there is Van Diesel. Van Diesel is a lead character there. He's the protagonist who faces difficulties. The antagonist is Uda Rock in that movie. Where there is John Cena. John Cena is an antagonist. Then Van Diesel is the protagonist. If you get that concept, I want you to place Gininda, because I'm struggling to find where to place Gininda in the language of protagonist and antagonist. But Mngomezulu then says, it was an interview about Senzo Meyewa that's when Brigadier Gininda instructed the accused to strip off his shirt to check if he had tattoos, right? Brigadier Gininda is an experienced policeman, will never do that. But if he did that, would you tell us? I don't think you would have told us that. So I don't get it. Mngomezulu, where were you doing in these 3 hours where Ntanzi was booked? We were asking him questions about the Senzo Meyewa case. So that is when Mngomezulu was proving that this guy was taken for 3 hours. We said, no problem, we'll take that. At the bottom, accused number 2 denied any involvement in the death of Senzo Meyewa. That was the second time That's true. He denied it. For the first time, I heard him speaking in favor of the accused. And I'm like, you usually speak against, but for the first time here, I heard him speaking in favor of this. Right. Do you agree that the day of the death of Senzo Meyiwa and when you arrested the accused was, accused number 2 was on 6 years already? So if you ask him where he was on that day, you were expecting a vivid answer from an accused number 2, meaning to say it's been long. So since it's been long, you cannot actually ask accused number 2 about the exactness of things because it's been long. I don't know if you get the concept, but if you don't get it, don't worry, I'll make you get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make you get it. As we proceed, you're going to notice something. You're going to notice that even Sergeant Mohwane, for him to reference certain things that happened when they arrested him, which was in 2020, he needed to go back to the docket, which means he forgot. So you can't expect Bongani to be accurate once you yourself have the tendency of forgetting. If you don't get that, forget about it. Let's continue. I'm joking. Don't forget about it. You are supposed to remember because when we ask him, he know when Senzo Meyiwa was killed. It was in the news. He was bound to know it, like me. I know, because it's all over the place. It was on the 26th of October 2014. I know it exactly. But I don't know where I was on that day. Why do I know the date of Senzo Meyiwa? Because it's a well-spoken of thing. It's all over. Do you get the concept? Well, I know my birthday because I celebrate it every year. I don't celebrate my birthday anyway. My birthday is coming up, by the way. Look, everyone who subscribed to my channel, you must buy me a gift. I put it to you that you buy me a gift. You know what I'm saying? I put it to you that you buy me a gift. But don't worry, it's not on December. Early next year, my birthday will be there. Right. Mngomezulu, so if you pose a question, that question as to where you were on that day. Did you expect that question? So it says that you took him at 8:30 a.m. on the 18th of June and brought him back on the next day about 2:30 in the early hours of the morning. Do you agree? Said Mohane says yes. Mngomezulu, so if you were let's flip this one. Mohane, the concept of that one, will come back to this one of you taking him this long. You know what I'm saying? We'll come back to that one. If you calculate the hours you spend with accused number 2, it gives me plus minus 17 hours. Do you dispute that? Mngomezulu says no. During this ungodly hours, what were you doing with accused number 2? Mohane, they say, did you notice that he calls them ungodly hours? Do you know what is ungodly? What is ungodly is anything bad is ungodly. So, in essence, he's saying, during these bad hours, during these dark hours, you know, the word darkness, sometimes it refers to a difficult situation that a person goes through. That's why in history, you've got what we call it dark ages, right? Where people were slaughtered, probably over 2 million or over 17 million Christians were slaughtered during the time. By the way, if you're a Christian, you must study that history. It's called dark. Just on Google, just research about dark ages. History will repeat itself very, very soon. Right, but I'm not there for now. So that history is referred to dark ages. What is dark about it is that a lot of people lost their lives because of faith, because of their belief. So they lost their lives. So it is referred to dark hours. In other words, we can refer to the 17 hours as dark hours for Bongani and Ntanzi. Hence the word ungodly. Guys. School fees, you guys must pay school fees the other time. Me teaching people these things, people must pay. I put it to you that you need to pay because I keep teaching all these things. You know what I'm saying? All right. Since accused number 2 was booked out, did Did he eat anything? Which is very important, by the way. He ate whatever we ate. We even asked which brand he liked, and he said KFC. We got him KFC. But let me tell you this, guys. Somebody was saying, and I did say this on my other video. Somebody was saying that prisoners must be without food, and I said to them, "Hey, you will be arrested if it can be proven that this person spends so much hours without eating. You will be arrested. I'm telling you. Remember this thing." It's in the Bill of Rights that this person must have sleep, must have this person must sleep enough. This person must what's this word? This person must sleep enough, must have enough sleep. This person must be afforded food. It's a prerequisite. If they cannot detain you without giving you food, it's a prerequisite. So if it can be found that they detain you without food, they know what will follow after that. So that person who said that prisoners must not be given food, way Buffett, what happened? Guys, I don't know what happened. Let me see what we can do about this. My backup just died on me. Hey guys, sorry guys, my backup just hey. Like I was saying that, you know what, I need to buy a battery. And that battery is better be big, because the one that I'm using, it's too small. It can't contain my recording lights and this light as well. So now I had to switch these two lights so that we can continue, but it can die at any time because I'm left with 1 bar in my backup because of load shedding, thanks to Mr. President Ramaphosa. I can't confirm what time he came afterward. He met us at the gate where I was waiting for Satan Mohola. I went into mine with Keninda, and when we were done, we left with Mamfundisi Mahola and left with Umapena. They were asking which cars and all the stuff. Right, let's continue. Okay, they talk about the Albertine trip and all the stuff, and yeah, you booked back him on the next day. It's not what we're going to be talking about now. We've already covered that. We're trying to cover the most important information here on this thing. I'm trying to figure out what I left outside. But yeah, from where I am at this particular moment, I'm trying to figure out the most important information that I'm not leaving aside here. There's still a lot of information that is left here. Yeah, there's still a lot of information that is left here, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go through every single information because my backup was not okay today. So then he was asked about what was written there. He says when the Phosphorus when he was rejected at Phosphorus, it says not rejected in a way, but remember he was brought to Phosphorus, so he was asked what is written, because the court will then write something. Mokhana says it is written here, legal aid and no bail. Mngomezulu appearance for accused. There was no lawyer on this day. He appeared without a lawyer. Okay, let's leave this one. And then we came back afternoon. Which prison was he kept? Mokhana, I don't know. I don't know if it was Pretoria North or Maoti, right? Mngomezulu, why was there not reminded in custody in prison? Mokhana says there are cases where investigating officers, because it was during COVID-19, it would be difficult. Again, we can actually say, okay, we get it, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to pass this one as well. There was no record of a lawyer. Were you present? Yes, I was present, and blah blah blah. And then it goes into the issue of N17 and all the stuff. But in all honesty, in everything that today was being done and was actually we were working towards, it was just to prove the validity of the confession. So We had to ask whether they went to what is this place, whether indeed they were with this person. We were just doing that exercise to see the consistency in everything that actually they said they did. Yeah, so I think I've covered the most important information. That's why I'm closing this thing as of now. As of me then closing this thing, let me conclude by saying I want to pose a question, and that question is, on the basis of everything that I've just given you, do you believe that accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, really is, oh guys, backup died again. Oh, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Backup died again.